Knicks family, what's poppin'? Let me turn this music down in the background, ladies and gentlemen. Because the New York Knicks, we are a winning team, ladies and gentlemen. We are a winning team. We have 37 wins on the season, which means we're guaranteed to have at least a 37-35 record. The first time since 2012. Throw it up for them, ladies and gentlemen. You got to throw it up for them. Ain't no way. I don't care who you are. I don't care how skeptical you are of this New York Knicks team. You cannot be that way tonight. You can't do it. You can't do it. The Knicks just defeated the Memphis Grizzlies 118-104. A little bit of a scare in the fourth quarter. A little bit of a scare. The Knicks had 97 points at the end of the third quarter. And with 3 minutes to go, they had 108 points or something like that. They only scored 11 points up until 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Didn't matter, though, because the Knicks played enough defense. Enough defense where they got Memphis rattled. Even though Memphis was making a push, they got rattled. So their coach got technicals thrown out the game. Ja Morant thrown out the game. The Knicks knocked down their technical free throws. 118-104. And this wasn't an easy game. Although the Knicks led throughout, they amassed a double-digit lead by halftime, 11-point lead. They were shooting well. Seemed like they should have had a bigger lead. So it wasn't easy. It was still scrappy. Probably easier than most of us thought it was going to be. But it was still kind of scrappy. As a matter of fact, I was a little bit nervous in the first quarter because, Memphis came out, jumped out 6-0. But then the Knicks, all of a sudden, bam, they come back 7 straight points, take the lead, goes back and forth a little bit. Eventually, the Knicks they start making shots, playing good defense, take over the basketball game. And it's becoming a habit for this team to do that. It's becoming common and regular for this team to flex their muscle. Now, they did build up a 17-point lead and lose it and let the lead slip all the way to 5. And that's still something we've got to address. Still something we've got to address, but I think I was talking with Tony about this maybe a couple of shows ago, that if you're going to have a 17-point lead, I'd rather have it in the third quarter than have it in the first or second quarter, because you just don't have enough time to chip away sometimes. It kind of went that way tonight. The Memphis Grizzlies just didn't have enough time to chip away, and tempers started to flare. And once tempers start to flare, man, you take yourself out the game, and that's exactly what the Memphis Grizzlies did down the stretch of the fourth quarter. They took themselves out. The Knicks were already winning the game, but they took themselves out the game. I told you earlier when we did a game preview, put some aggression into Ja Morant. Play him physical. It's not strong enough to play through the physicality. And he wasn't. He's a talent. Trust me, he's a talented kid. He's going to be a star in this league. He's going to have to get stronger, though. Ja Morant tonight, 8 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. The Memphis Grizzlies, though, they were led by Dillon Brooks. And that guy, Dillon Brooks, can play some basketball. I don't like his hairdo, but he can play some basketball. Kyle Anderson has bad hairdo, too. They need to do something with their hairdos over there in Memphis. But Dillon Brooks, he had 25 points, 1 assist, 2 steals. Desmond Bane, he came on in the second half, started knocking down threes. He was 4 for 7 from the three-point line, 9 for 13 from the field overall. He had 22 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals. Jaren Jackson Jr. had 15 points, 3 rebounds. Kyle Anderson had 13 points. Valanciunas, he had 11 points, 16 rebounds, and 3 blocks. And for the New York Knicks, ladies and gentlemen, points-wise, they were led by Julius Randle. Points-wise. But they were actually led by Derrick Rose. Okay? Derrick Rose led that charge down the stretch of the game in the fourth quarter. Derrick Rose, 25 points tonight, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, but he hit key buckets after key bucket when we needed it. Julius Randle had 28 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal. Only 1 turnover for Julius Randle tonight. But he only shot 39% from the field. He did shoot 62.5% from the three-point line again, though. 5 for 8 from the three-point line. He was 9 for 23 overall. Then we got contributions. Like I said earlier in the show, or on the game preview, we need contributions from a lot of people. And we got that. Taj Gibson, 6 points, 12 rebounds, 5 blocks for Taj Gibson tonight, who started at the center spot in lieu of Nerlens Noel. RJ Barrett gave you 15 points and 7 rebounds. Elfrid Payton gave you 10 points, 5 rebounds. Reggie Bullock, 13 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist. Good game overall. Alec Burks came back. He gave you 9 points. Manuel Quickley gave you 8 points. Good win from the New York Knicks. 2-0 so far. 2-0 so far on this West Coast road trip. 2-0. That's exactly what we wanted and needed them to be. Tony Crow, what's poppin' with you, my brother? I know you got to be feeling good tonight.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to you, Sim, your Blackest Time. Good game, man. Good team effort. Derrick Rose, man. Derrick Rose took over.
Yo, Derrick Rose.
His left hand was looking like he should be staring at it or something. Like, I don't know where he got that from.
Yeah.
It was a wonderful thing to see. Burke came back strong. I think he hit his first 4 shots. Randle had a bad game, but still had clutch moments.
Mm-hmm.
It was just great to see. Now, I got a quick question. Bullock, that last time around when Moran got kicked out, he shot 3 free throws. So they called a tech on somebody other than Morant as well?
They must have. They must have. I'm not sure. But they must have called a tech on somebody else. I'm not exactly sure who it was. But, yeah, he did shoot 3 free throws. Yeah. You know, so I'm not exactly sure what happened there. You know what I mean? Yeah,
man. We playing playoff basketball, and you know, they playing for their playoff position as well. And it's going to be that way, you know, up until the end of the season, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. I know this is a little bit off topic, but you know how like LeBron and Luka complained about this playing thing. I think this changes the whole dynamic of the end of the season.
It does.
And I think it's a beautiful, wonderful thing that the league did.
It does. I think it's great. It changed, just like you said it perfectly. It changes the entire dynamic of the end of the season because, I mean, teams all the way down to the 12th and 13th seed still have a chance to make the playoffs, right? Because they can still get into this play-in tournament if they choose to do so. Well, you know, if they choose to try to get into the play-in tournament. So it definitely changes the entire way that you look at the league. And it's exciting. Yeah. It's exciting because a team like the Washington Wizards, let's say, you look at what they're doing right now. If they didn't have this play-in tournament, the Wizards could have hung it up early and said, you know what? We're gonna rest Russell Westbrook. You know, we're gonna do this and do that because we're already out of it. But because they were still close to this play-in tournament, they kept battling and kept fighting. Now they're the 10th seed, and it looks like they're gonna grab a hold of that 10th seed and keep it. And I'm gonna tell you what, the Brooklyn Nets gonna be in for if they end up playing. If the Nets and the Wizards end up playing in the playoffs, the 1-8, the Nets might want to be careful because they could score. What they score, 154 points tonight? The Wizards did?
Yeah.
You You know, Russell. Listen.
Westbrook he already got a chip. He's
Exactly.
about to have another chip just because.
Listen, Russell Westbrook is looking. He'll be looking over at KD and James Harden, be like, "Oh, okay, y'all went to Brooklyn and sent me to the Wizards. Okay, watch this." You know what I'm saying? 20, and 20 every game or something like that. So that's definitely going to be interesting. But I agree with you, man. I think that this play-in tournament has added a nice dynamic to the NBA season.
Yeah,
a nice and fun dynamic.
It doesn't cheat the fan.
Right.
So now you're not resting your players because you potentially clinch. You know what I mean? Now it's tougher to clinch because now it takes away 2 seeds clinching. You know what I mean? Like now you're not resting players. You may have paid for your ticket early or whatever the case, and you go to see your guy and he's not playing. So or you may have had an injury which hindered your team. You get your guy back late in the season and make a run. It's just a great thing.
Yeah,
I just have to state that.
Nah, that's cool, man. I enjoy it. I like it because think about it. Even in the beginning of the season with the Knicks, we were looking and saying we can make that play-in tournament, right? We can make the play-in tournament. So it's definitely a good thing. Listen, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks, look, they put out a game where their 2 best players didn't play well. Julius Randle, again, shot 39% from the field. R.J. Barrett, 41.7% from the field. They didn't play well. Aggressive defense. Cued in on those 2 guys. And they're going to see that for the remainder of this road trip. You better believe that. But Derrick Rose, although we say Julius Randle and R.J. Barrett are the Knicks' best players, Derrick Rose is quickly becoming maybe the 2nd best player on the team. He's in all-star form. I've said it a couple weeks ago, and I'll say it again, man. He's playing like an all-star. He's like having another all-star on the team. I don't care about if you got the label from the league or whoever. As long as you're playing that way, that's all that matters. And right now, he's playing like an all-star. He's playing like an all-star, man. And there's no denying how much better the Knicks are when he is there. There's just no denying it. And, I'm interested to see, how this thing's going to go down in the playoffs with Derrick Rose playing super-duper clutch moments. You know what I'm saying? The Knicks tonight, ladies and gentlemen, they beat the Memphis Grizzlies 118-104. Another game where the Knicks scored 118 points. Right? It's what they've been doing over the last 12, 13 games. Having the best, caller, I'll get to you shortly, having the best offense in the league over that period of time. And still a top 10 defense. You know what I'm saying? And that is, that's just, they've been a top team. Bottom line, what more can I say? They've been a top team. But anyway, the Knicks defeat the Memphis Grizzlies tonight, 118-104. They lost the rebounding battle, 46-45 to the Grizzlies. The Knicks only had 19 assists tonight, 26 assists for the Memphis Grizzlies, 7 steals for the Grizzlies, 6 steals for the Knicks. 8 blocks for the Knicks, 4 for the Memphis Grizzlies. 5 of those blocks came from Taj Gibson. And the Knicks only had 8 turnovers tonight. That was one of my keys, a huge key to the game tonight, was that the Knicks take care of the basketball. And the reason why is because the Memphis Grizzlies were 7th in the league coming into this game, 7th in the league at causing turnovers, creating turnovers. And they were number 2 in the league in scoring off of turnovers. So it was important that the Knicks take care of the ball tonight. And I said, I want to see the Knicks have 10 or less turnovers tonight. 10 or less. I figured if we had 10 or less turnovers, have a good chance to win this game. We had 8 turnovers tonight. The Knicks shot 50.6% from the field. Again, they shot 51.9% from 3. They've climbed to be one of the best three-point shooting teams in the league, bro. Fourth, like Tony's saying, fourth. Hard work. And I stole Tom Thibodeau's saying as well. I stole it. I don't care, Tom. I stole it. That's what coaches do. Coaches steal from coaches. Now I'm in practice and I'm telling my players, the magic is in the work. I'm telling them, the magic is in the work. That's how you become good. There's no miracles. It's the work. It's the work. Points in the paint. The Knicks had 54 points in the paint. The Memphis Grizzlies had 34. 18 second chance points by the Grizzlies. 9 for the Knicks. 13 fast break points for the Knicks. Only 12 for the Memphis Grizzlies on a big win tonight. The Grizzlies, just a quick breakdown. Julius Randle led the Knicks, 28 points. Taj Gibson, 12 rebounds for the Knicks, 6 assists for Julius Randle, 5 blocks for Taj Gibson. Said it a couple times already. Dylan Brooks led the Grizzlies in 25 points, 16 rebounds for Jonas Valanciunas. And then Kyle Anderson, funny haircut Kyle Anderson, no diss. And I know the Memphis Grizzlies official YouTube page was in the chat during the game preview trying to get a couple of pointers. If you're in the chat tonight, no diss, I'm just joking. Kyle Anderson had 7 assists tonight. Taj Gibson, again, 5 blocks for the Knicks. Valanciunas, 3 blocks for the Memphis Grizzlies. Wonderful game for the Knicks tonight. Let me get to this phone call. Caller, you're live. What's popping with you, man?
Sam, I love you, man.
Appreciate you, my brother. I love you back.
I love all you guys. Tony Crow, salute. Oh, man. We got to enjoy this.
That's right.
Everything we've been through, man. I mean, this is a complete team. No egos. They just get it done, man. I mean, Julius Randle is out here looking like Steph Curry. You got Alec Burks looking like MJ for a couple minutes. And I think he's going to get back in rhythm. Hopefully that wasn't too bad of an injury. I think he'll be okay. But I can't. Derrick Rose, man. We got to re-sign him.
They'll re-sign him. Yeah. They're going to re-sign Derrick Rose. There's no doubt about that. Look, when the rumors came out a long time ago, when the rumors came out that the Knicks were going to trade for Derrick Rose, I saw some people say, well, why wouldn't he go to the Clippers? Why would he go to the Knicks? Why wouldn't he go to a title contender? And I just knew Derrick Rose wanted to be with Tom Thibodeau and Taj Gibson. There was no doubt about it. And I had no doubt in my mind that he was coming to the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? If you know Derrick Rose, he doesn't like to be away from home. That's why he stayed around Minnesota, Cleveland, Detroit. You know what I mean? So he can stay close to Chicago. He had been to New York, so he was comfortable with New York. And then you got Taj and you got Tibbs. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Unfinished business.
Exactly. And there was some unfinished business. I'm so glad we got him, though, because it's been such a great pickup. And then you can't gloss over the Taj Gibson pickup either.
I agree. I mean, other than the Harden trade in the NBA, I think he's been the most impactful trade in the NBA for a team.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I don't even know that Derrick Rose could shoot threes. When did he learn to shoot threes like this?
Bro, yeah, he's been working on it. He's been working. He had to do it. Think about it. Derrick Rose had to, if he was going to stay relevant in this league, he couldn't play the same style of basketball. He couldn't fly up the floor 100 miles an hour and dunk it on you. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't come up every time, jump in the air, and pump fake 30 times before he passed it. He couldn't continue to play that style of basketball. So he had to make an adjustment and learn how to play below the rim, which I think was a tough adjustment for Derrick Rose. Because all of his life, he's been playing above the rim, above the rim, above the rim. Now he's got to learn how to stay on the floor, not jump when you make a pass. See the floor differently. See the floor on eye level instead of up in the air.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it took him a little while to learn how to play that style of basketball, and I still think he's learning. Like I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, sometimes you see Derrick Rose, your head take off, and he's not sure how to score sometimes, in my opinion, without with him still flying. It's like, okay, I took off. I don't want to dunk it because, I know what happened to me before, but I'm still in the air. What do I do? So you see him move the ball around a couple times and then lay it up. I think he's still learning how to play and regulate how high he jumps when. I think he's learned how to regulate his speed. I think he's learned how to regulate his speed because you see now it's more of okay, I'm going to go 65, 75%, then I turn on the jets when I need it.
Right. And his defense I think his defense has been good. For the most part this season, his defense has been good.
Yeah,
I haven't had issues with Derrick Rose on defense.
No, it's been great.
And Taj, salute to Taj, 12 rebounds, 5 blocks. I think Tommy Beer said a guy this old to do that in a game, I think, since Tim Duncan in 2006 or 2008. Salute to that guy because he's awesome.
Yeah.
And you guys are awesome. And we got to enjoy this. And look, we all understand where we've been. And like we said, last night, 500. Tonight, we're over 500.
Well, over
First
500,
time in
baby.
many years. You got to enjoy the little successes. But I'm just going to say this right now. I'm getting 99 buys from this team. I just want everybody to stay healthy. We got to stay hungry. But, man, this is fun, man.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful, man. Hey, my brother, I appreciate the call.
Right,
we got some other people that want to try to get in here.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for your time. I didn't mean to hang up too early, but thank you for your time. Derrick Rose, man. He's and I see like some people in the chat. Rebuild NYK said, he's still a supreme athlete. He is. Derrick Rose is still a supreme athlete. He's just learned how and when to use that athleticism. He's learning how to do that better, I think. You just can't say enough about what Derrick Rose is doing with this team. You know what I mean? And his presence in the locker room, and his presence is going to really come into play in the playoffs because he's been there. Of course, there's been a lot of times where he was injured, but he understands it and he gets it. I also want to give a shout out to Norvel Pelle. I want to shout him out, man. Listen, he didn't come in and score a bunch of points and grab 1 million rebounds, but he gave us 14 minutes. Had 2 rebounds. He had 3 blocks in those 14 minutes. 2 points. You know what I'm saying? And he's going to be called on to play more minutes. He played some heavy minutes in the first half because Taj Gibson had 3 fouls. And he did good. He did good. I like the pickup. Sometimes I look and say, is he slow on rotations or not? I'm not sure. But, he's plugging in where he needs to plug in. Let Taj Gibson do the heavy lifting. 33 minutes tonight for Taj Gibson. And this is a second night of a back-to-back. Right? So I like what Norvel Pelle gave us. How about you, Tony?
Yeah, he filled it. He's still learning. I thought he would have played more minutes, but I should know by now that when Tibbs trusts you, he's rocking with you. 30 plus minutes, whatever. 4 fouls, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, he's been to war with him. So
right.
I understand it, but Norvel, I think he did his job. You know what I mean? He had some nice blocks, which fits right into the culture. I think everything else is gonna be a slow adjustment, as long as you're not making mistakes or becoming a liability. I like what he brings when he's on the floor. And like I said, I would have liked to see more minutes from him. I'm gonna say hopefully Noel is not hurt or not that hurt. But if he is, then yeah, I think Taj might need to decrease on the minutes. And hopefully, we see some good minutes with my bad.
Yeah. And I think I think we'll see some good minutes from Pelle. You know what I mean? One thing that did surprise me tonight, in the, coming down the stretch of the fourth quarter, I don't know if Tom Thibodeau was resting Rose and then was going to get Rose back in, but Alec Burks was in until he got, Ja Morant rolled up on his ankle. That surprised me a little bit because Derrick Rose was playing well, and with Alec Burks as his first game back from COVID-19 protocol. So it did surprise me a bit that Tom Thibodeau chose to go with Alec Burks in that situation rather than Derrick Rose. And then, of course, Derrick Rose came in when Alec Burks had to go out because he twisted his ankle up. Did it surprise you?
It did surprise me. The only justification I could say is like, he started off 4 for 4. I don't know where he ended up or how many shots he missed at that point, but I know he started off on fire. You know what I mean? Like, and he didn't look like he missed a beat. And was RJ on a court at that point?
I don't
know
remember.
There was a stretch where RJ wasn't even on the floor either, and so that you know what I mean. Like I think Rose was coming back regardless.
Mm-hmm.
I think again it would have been either maybe RJ out, obviously quickly not in. You know what I mean? Like I think the pecking order is like, even though RJ's improved his shooting, I think he trusts the vet a little bit more.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Especially going into the playoffs.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? I think he just trusts the vet.
Okay. And, I think this is going to be something that's interesting to watch down the stretch of this season, how that dynamic works between, not that Rose and Burks will have any kind of issue, but just how Tom Thibodeau chooses to use Rose and Burks in certain situations. You know what I'm saying? So, that's just something to watch.
One thing I will say about, because people are still going to keep bringing up the whole starting thing. I really like what Rose does. Like, it don't matter where he's at, but nobody else can do what he's doing for the bench. You know what I mean? The ball movement on the bench, especially in that first half, was beautiful. And so with the starters, we're kind of, I guess it's a catch-22 because we're kind of relying on Randle to be the everything. You know what I mean? Because he's the lead distributor, and he's you know what I mean. He's our leading scorer. So I don't know if I kind of feel like we need more distribution from someone else in the starting lineup, but I don't know if anybody else could help the young guys with the way he passes. Like the ball movement in the second unit, especially with Rose in there, is phenomenal. It's way better than the first unit. You know what I mean? It's strictly Randle giving the assist out, and anything else is kind of like a one-on-one.
Yeah, nah, I'm with you. And I don't know where that distribution comes from. Like you said, who's it going to be, in that first unit? It seems like, right now, let's put it like this. I believe that Tom Thibodeau just kind of he's comfortable with the lineups and he's comfortable with the way things are playing out. So obviously there's not going to be lineup changes, not at this point in the season. Where does he find somebody else distributing the basketball? I don't know. Because Elfrid Payton is not going to do it.
I do like when Payton does it. You know what I mean?
Right.
He just hasn't. He it's kind of an off year for assists with him. I think. I'm not looking at numbers, but just like from the eye test, I wouldn't be surprised if. I mean, his minutes are down. Everything's probably down this year. But he's more than capable. It's just like was the last game. I think he started off with like 4 assists in the first quarter. Like when he does that, I think it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
For the team.
When he distributes the basketball, he can, but and it definitely helps Julius Randle when he's distributing the basketball. You know what I'm saying? Because now that's less work that Julius Randle has to do. Julius Randle can, score a couple of buckets and then allow somebody else to distribute and get the ball around to those who can't score on their own. You know what I mean? Look, ladies and gentlemen, you see it on the screen. The Eastern Conference standings, right? See it up there. Philadelphia 76ers, they're in first place right now, 44-21. The Brooklyn Nets, 43-22. The Milwaukee Bucks are 40-20. And the New York Knicks, 37-28. 3 games away from 40 wins on the season. One more win, and they'll be 10 games above 500, ladies and gentlemen. One more win, 10 games above 500. The Atlanta Hawks, they're 36-30, a game and a half behind the Knicks in the 5th seed. The Miami Heat, they're 35-30, 2 games behind the Knicks. And as we get shorter and shorter on the season, those teams begin to understand where they fall. All of them, the Knicks, the Hawks, the Heat, the Celtics, they begin to realize where they fall. If the Knicks can put together 1-2 more wins, you're gonna start penciling in where these teams are. You see the Boston Celtics, they're 34-31, a full 3 games behind the Knicks. The Hornets, they're 31-33, 5.5 games behind the Knicks. The Indiana Pacers, they're 30-34, right? 6.5 games behind the Knicks. And then the Washington Wizards, they're in the 10th spot. Let's put it like this. The Knicks have locked up the play-in tournament. They can be no worse than number 9 right now. Okay? No worse than number 9. And if they get another win, then they could be no worse than number 8 because they own the tiebreaker with the Indiana Pacers. One more win, and the Knicks will be no worse than the 8th seed.
8th seed, play-in.
Right, exactly. Right. You know what I mean? Right. One more win, they'll be no worse than the 8th seed. And then if they get one more, so let's put it like this, 3 more wins, and the Knicks secure, well, I don't want to say that yet because they still have one more game with the Charlotte Hornets. Right? They still have one more game with the Hornets. And they've got to take care of that tiebreaker. But pretty soon it's going to get to the point if the Knicks keep winning, that they're just going to knock these guys off. But right now the Knicks can do no worse than the 9th seed in the Eastern Conference. Tony, you were going to say something.
I think it was Thin Nick. He said breaking news. The Knicks have got added to 3 national televised games. So I think the Lakers, Clippers, and Celtics. Okay. One, I just think that's hilarious that that they could do that. That they could do that. But I do recall one year us being dropped from a national televised
I recall
game,
that too.
Which that blew my mind as well. So,
right, I remember that.
It's just funny how the tables have turned.
Right. Exactly. And the Clippers, that was already a nationally televised game. I think that was already on ESPN.
Okay.
Right. So now this means that they added the Lakers and they added the Celtics.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. People want to see the Knicks. Everybody wants to see the hot commodity now. Everybody wants to see the hot commodity now.
I like it because this is a chance for Randle to really get put into the conversation, at least MVP, and some of our other guys to get recognized for what they're doing. Noel, defensively, if not most improved for Randle, maybe somebody else on the team could get it. So, it's coach of the year, all that.
Yeah, exactly. Big shout out to Demo B. He said it's incredible talking about the Knicks. Incredible. Yes, incredible. It is incredible what we've witnessed so far this season. Big shout out to Mark Boyce. Thank you for the super chat. He said, thank you for being a forum for us. Excuse me. He said, thank you for being a forum for us. True New York Knicks fans. Let's go one battle at a time. We are the untold news. Weak coverage at best. Late to the bandwagon. Talking about these national televised networks. The team has us, and you know that we're watching. Love my new shirts that came in. Yeah, no doubt. We need to get you on camera so we can see them new shirts, man. Appreciate you, Mark. Thank you for the super chat. Definitely appreciate you. Can't wait to see you back in the building when you get a chance. So now, listen, we keep knocking off these small goals. We've been talking about it all season long, right? We keep knocking off these small goals. Climb to 500. Finally got above 500. We could only get a 3-game winning streak. Finally, we knocked that off. Had a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-game winning streak. We're now on another 3-game winning streak. Right? We keep knocking off goals. Then now, the last game we beat Houston and we secure a 500 record. Now we secure a winning record. You know what I mean? We keep doing it. And it's good for the team. Now, what's the next thing? We haven't won in Denver for a while. Now it's time to go get that one, right? We haven't won in Denver for a while, so let's go get another goal.
And oh man, I hope Noel is back. I really do, because now he get a chance to really show where his defense is.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, so, and Denver. Listen, all of these games, we can say till it's blue in the face that it's going to be a tough game, right? We can always say that, but Denver's going to be another tough one. Of course, Murray is out, but they haven't missed a beat with Murray being out, right? They haven't really missed a beat. The Denver Nuggets, they've won 5 in a row. They're 9-1 in the last 10. They're playing good basketball still. All right, they've already locked up a playoff spot. They have the 3rd seed in the Western Conference at the moment. Right, and when you look at it, they're 3 games behind Utah. They're 3 games behind Utah and Phoenix. I'm going to say it's highly unlikely that they can catch those teams with 8 games left. It's going to be very hard to catch those 2 teams with 8 games left. But they're only a half game above the Clippers. Right? They're only a half game above the Clippers. And I'm assuming that they would rather stay in that 3rd spot. Right? 3rd spot, they're going to play the Los Angeles Lakers. Maybe they don't want to stay in the 3rd spot. Right? Maybe they'd rather move down to the 4th spot and play the Dallas Mavericks. But the Mavericks and the Lakers are both tied at 36 and 28.
It's a 3-team tie, right?
The Portland Trailblazers, they lost to Atlanta tonight. That's
right. They did.
Right. So they lost to Atlanta tonight. So they're 36 and 29. That's when you look at that, what do you do, Tone? If you're the Denver Nuggets or the Los Angeles Clippers, like if I'm the Clippers, I may not want to move up to the 3rd seed.
Well, I think if you're the Clippers, you can't play around with it. That's the thing. Do you want home court advantage? You know what I mean?
But if they stay in the 4th seed, they still got home court advantage in the 1st round.
Yeah, but you playing around trying to get the 4th seed. Somebody surpass you.
Right.
And then you end up being the 5th seed. You know what I mean? Like, is that tight? Like
Yeah, well,
that's what I mean. Like
I don't think when you look at it, and I got it up on the screen, I don't think that the Mavericks can catch them. So they're 40.
Okay.
The Clippers are 43-22. They've already clinched the playoff spot. So how many games do they have left? They played 61 games. I'm sorry, they played 65 games. They have 7 games left. You know, they'd have to go on a serious slide.
Okay.
Right? They'd have to lose. Let's put it like this. They want to win at least 3 more. Right? They win at least 3 more. There's no way that Dallas can catch them. Right now, with 7 games left, if they were to lose all 7 and Dallas win out the rest of the season, they could catch the Clippers. So the Clippers are probably looking like, let's win 2 more. Let's get our 45 wins. You know, then
they can't catch us.
You know, then nobody can catch them. But yeah, listen, if I'm the Clippers and the Nuggets, I'm looking at that schedule and saying,
they play. What
do I want to do? Right. Both of them losing games. Like, I don't want to play the Lakers. I don't want to play the Lakers either.
Yeah. Okay. So my argument works more with those teams, the Lakers, Portland, and the Mavs. They can't play around.
Right.
They mess around. They mess around and won't be in the they'll be in the play-in.
They'll be in the play-in. They'll mess around and be in the play-in. Because the Lakers are just a half a game above the Portland Trailblazers. They mess around. They're on a 3-game losing streak. They mess around and lose a couple games. They'll be in that 7th spot.
Mm-hmm.
This is how crazy it is with the Western Conference. Because if the Lakers get in the 7th spot, right, let's say they end the season in the 7th spot. Okay, and then they get into the play-in, and maybe they're the 7th. Let's say they're the 7th seed. If they're the 7th seed, they got to play Utah. Utah don't want to see. Nobody wants to see the Lakers in the first round, especially not Phoenix, Utah, Denver, or the Clippers. But one of those teams are going to see the Lakers in the first round, and it might be scary for them because, you know, if the Lakers come back at full tilt, it's a good chance one of those guys gets knocked off. That's tough.
I don't know. I think people are less scared of the Lakers, especially currently with all the injury woes.
Mm-hmm.
So I think coming in, I think the Lakers are more afraid of a play-in than teams afraid of dealing with the Lakers in the play-in, or the first round for that matter. Because I think it's going to take them more time to gel again than it is than they have. So they're going to have to actually gel in the playoffs, I think.
That's true.
And start, start hitting their stride. So I think it's on them right now to try to get the best position that they could get and definitely avoid the play-in. You know what I mean? At the very least. But they got to start getting it together now. And that's with or without LeBron, because I guess he left the last game. I don't know if he's going to play the next game.
Yeah. Big shout out to Mark Bouzajor. Hopefully I said your name correctly. I'm going to just say Mark B. Big shout out to Mark B. Thank you for the super chat. He said, great win. The grit that this team is showing is refreshing. We're getting bandwagons now. He said, even Max Kellerman is saying Julius Randle is a top 5 MVP candidate. Mm-hmm. Listen, he is. Now, he's starting to get recognition. I was looking at the NBA's MVP ladder earlier today, and Julius Randle was now ranked 8th in the MVP ladder. They got the top 5 guys, and then Julius Randle is in the next 5, is what they call it. You know, that's big. That's big for him. You know what I mean? I I think he's going to win Most Improved Player, and I think he's going to be on the All-NBA team. On one of the 3 teams. I think he's going to be on one of those 3 teams. Yeah, that's big stuff for Julius Randle right there. Ladies and gentlemen, you can give us a call. I know it's late. You know what I mean? But you can give us a call, 516-405-2246. Don't be afraid to call in. Want to know what you think about this Knicks team? How you feel about what we're doing? I know you're enjoying it. We're enjoying it. We love it.
I want May 4th to call in. Cause I don't know what's up with him. He must be mad at Rose. I don't know if he took your girl or what. He trashing Rose. He's basically saying that we giving Tibbs too much credit. And I recognize your name from the chat. I know you always here, so.
Yeah, May 4th, what's going on? What's wrong? What's wrong? What can we say bad about Derrick Rose? He said, you guys want to clown Tibbs, but don't act like he changed everything because he did not. I mean, May 4th says Rose is trash? Really? Yeah, I think May 4th is just wild. Maybe somebody hacked his account. You know, he said, he said, I also said anything less than the 6th seed is unacceptable before the season even started. So explain to me how I said the Knicks. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with May 4th. May 4th, what's up, man? Enjoy it, baby. Just enjoy the wins. That's all. Just enjoy the wins. You know, he said, can't have it both ways. Tibbs walks on water when we win and has no talent when we lose. Well, let me say this, May 4th. Neither Tony nor myself, neither one of us have been saying that this team does not have talent. Neither one of us. As a matter of fact, we've gone to bat to say the team does have talent. Right? Okay, May 4th, you said you're talking about me. I'm talking to you right now. I'm looking right in the camera and I'm talking to you, May 4th. What I'm saying to you is that we've never said that the Knicks didn't have talent. Did we say other teams had better talent? Yeah. But we never said the Knicks didn't have talent. We've gone to bat arguing with folks saying that the Knicks have talent. I've always said that I like the job that Tom Thibodeau is doing. As a matter of fact, I've defended Tom Thibodeau when people were arguing and complaining about his rotations. What did I always say? I said, well, you know what? Tom Thibodeau likes consistency. Tom Thibodeau likes to have a baseline to go by. And that's the reasons why he keeps the same rotations. I've always gone to bat for Tom Thibodeau. As a matter of fact, people have argued with me and been upset because I've gone to bat for Tom Thibodeau. May 4th? Nah, don't do that with me, bro, because I've always supported the team, tried to be as objective as I could. I don't even want to hear that, bro. He said Tibbs is a solid coach. Have we not said that? I think you got the wrong brothers, man. I think you got the wrong brothers.
But happy birthday, man.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm assuming May 4th is your birthday, so happy birthday.
You know, I don't know what these people talk about, man, but you know, very good win. Talk to me. What do you feel, man? How do you feel about though the Denver game? It's going to be a tough one.
It is. I mean, we've been passing tests, you know, for a while now. Yeah, I think it's just another test. I think we're confident. We don't feel like we're gonna lose. I think what Julius Randle, if I was Randle, what would I say? You know, Tibbs has us prepared for every team. You know, so
that's exactly what he's going to say. That's exactly what he's going to say.
I think he got them prepared. So it's you know, it's up to, and we're proving like bad game from RJ and Randle. We won. Like that's a good thing. That shows us, you know what I mean? We don't need y'all to have a great game. You know what I mean? Because we all here. We in this together. I think there's synergy right now. They connected. I'm not worried. You know what I mean? Like early in the year, I would be worried. I'm not worried on this. I don't want to jump ahead, but I wasn't worried about the stretch. I think we're gonna come out victorious.
Yeah.
Most of the stretch.
Okay. When we look at the Nuggets, they're a team that can obviously score the basketball. Right? They can score the ball. They can shoot it. They have great synergy on the offensive side, even without Murray. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, and I'm not saying that they're better without Murray, but sometimes when somebody gets injured, it makes the team bond together a little bit more, right? Everybody else has people are, I got to step up. So now people start to step up, play a little bit better, pay attention to details a little bit more, remain a little bit focused. You know what? I got to step up. I ain't going out. I can't go out now. You know what I'm saying? All these, some of these other little things that I might have been doing, and I'm not saying anything wrong. I'm saying, maybe, I relax and just play some video games, or I'm going to a party or whatever you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And maybe in COVID-19, they're not going to parties, but you get what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. They say, you know what? I can't do that right now. I really gotta focus in because Murray is down, and I got to make sure I'm playing the role that coach is asking me to do to the best of my ability. And it makes these guys kind of bond together a little bit more. And it makes your team better because then when Murray comes back, not that he's coming back this season, but when he comes back, guys have expanded what they're able to do while on the floor. You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you, Sim, one thing that I'm looking for is hopefully Tibbs makes this adjustment or tells like Randle he can't help. I don't care who the guy is that is hurting us, but you can't help to defend Jokic because remember him and Gordon had a nice battle back in that Orlando game.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Now Gordon's around superior talent.
Yep,
like surrounded him on his team, so he could easily go off just off getting easy shot and get an open shot. You know what I mean? I'd rather them battle like they did before if they go to him, but don't help off of him.
Yeah. Let me get to this phone call real quick. Caller, you're live. What's popping? I ask you to turn that down in the back, please.
What's going on, my brother?
I'm good, my brother. How you feeling?
I'm glad to hear that, brother. I'm glad. I'm blessed. I'm blessed all day. This your boy. We talked before a little bit while back when you was remember we talking about getting Rose from Orlando. You probably don't remember me, but yeah.
I do.
That's my brother. I appreciate that. But I just want to tell you, God bless you, and I love what you're doing, and I pray that you keep everything going like that.
Appreciate it, and I plan to.
I just opened a trucking company in Texas, right? So I be so busy, man. I'm trying to catch this game, and I want to tell you something. I'm in my 40s. Mm-hmm. I never missed a Knicks game in 30 to 31 years. Every game, my brother. So when people say Spike Lee the number one fan, I'm not sure about that.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
I live and die this.
That's what I'm talking about.
When it comes to the Knicks and the Giants, anybody in my family, I'm gonna tell you something, bro. My ex-wife, I was married for 10 years.
Uh-oh.
She was jealous of the Knicks and the Giants. Not of a girl, but the Knicks and the Giants. Yeah, and we divorced. And I said, you know what? I got to cancel this shit. I can't do this.
Right.
That's how real this shit is for me.
I feel you, bro.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep it sensitive.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I get it. It's cool.
I'm sorry. Yeah. But, bro, now look, when Burst came in, and I love how he was doing, and I know Rose sat back for a minute, and we took him out, right? Mm-hmm. And then, you know what I'm saying? And then we kept Burst in. I didn't understand that.
Yeah.
And then they put 1 minute went by, right? Bert caught the little, if he was hurt, right? Then they put Rose back in, and Rose did what he gonna do.
Right.
And only why I bring that topic up to you, because we say, I love that we talking about that we're going to put my man Jules in the MVP talk.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't get goddamn our coach of the year, this is some bullshit. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I tried to say. Let me say it again. Let me say, because I get really hot.
I can tell.
I get really hot. I get really hot with this. It should be no, for Tibbs to get coach of the year, because nobody with the Knicks ever did what he doing with the team that he got. No disrespect, you know what I'm saying? But we need to start saying Rose need to get sixth man of the year. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I don't know what the game requirements are, but he's definitely got to be in the conversation, man. Because Rose is, listen, without Rose, we don't win. Some of these games that we've been winning, we don't win them without Rose. There's no doubt about that.
A lot. This man, this is Vince's Rose right now. This man, I swear to God, he don't never stop taking that ball to the hole. Getting that ball moving. When he's in there, that ball is moving, bro.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I get really.
Hey, I feel you, brother.
High blood pressure, everything behind it. Like I said, I have not missed a Knicks game. I'm in my 40s, Tim. Literally, I have not missed a Knicks game within 30 years to 31 years. And this man, Rose, need to be put in the sixth man of the year. I'm trying to tell you.
I feel you, my brother. I feel you.
And nobody brings that up, though.
Well, a couple people spoke about it. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, listen, I think he's going to be in the running. I don't think they're going to let the Knicks take up all the awards. You know what I'm saying? Most improved, coach of the year, sixth man. But they deserve to be there. I can tell you that.
Bro, it needs to happen, man. Because I'm really scared that we're going to get a cheat out. Jules got to get the most improvement player. That should be automatic.
Yeah.
Automatic. What he's doing, his percentage for threes and everything. This is crazy, man.
Yeah, man.
Sim, I don't want to take too much of your time. I know you're busy.
Yeah, I appreciate you, brother. I love the passion, man. Trust me, I love it.
Yeah, but just let me just touch a couple more things, and then I'll let you go. But Sim, let me tell you something, man. If you take Julius off that team and you put Damian Lillard from Portland, we would still have the same record. Hell no. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to curse again. Shit. I just get real hyped with this shit.
Nah, I feel you, brother. But hey, I know I got some other callers, man. Let me get to some other callers. All right. But I'm looking forward to it.
One more. Please, one more.
All right.
If you put Stephen Curry, because I'm telling you, all the people that are ahead of Jews for the MP, if you put Stephen Curry on that team, they have this, what they do, what we doing. If you put Chris Paul, how is Chris Paul number 4? How? And you put him on that team.
I don't know, man. Hey, I don't know. But, hey, my man, let me get to some other people over here, all right? I appreciate you, brother.
No
appreciate you. Love the passion. Can't wait to hear from you again, man. Be peaceful, my brother. Passionate Knicks fans, I'm trying to tell you. OG Mark in the building. What's going on with you, brother? I see you got the fresh gear.
Yeah.
You looking fresh, NBK'd out.
Yes,
I'm loving it, my brother. I'm loving it.
Yes, sir. Yep.
How you feel, man? How you feel about tonight's win?
I'm feeling great. I'm looking forward, to our next game. One battle at a time. Denver, they're going to be tough. Getting right to the point. It's just the mentality and the ability for Tibbs to get this team ready for every team we're going to face. Mm-hmm. One thing I loved when I heard recently, Sim, in an interview, was that, and this is from all the players, Sims tends to get them ready like every game is a playoff game. So when you wake up one day in the morning and you really are in a playoff scenario, it doesn't seem such a foreign country to you. You know what I mean? It's something that you really do feel like you've built yourself to get to that point. And I think that that's exactly where we're heading, humbly, one hardworking step at a time. There is no the magic. The magic is in the work and the dedication and the commitment to each other to be unselfish and play unselfishly. So I'm just excited, man. What do you think about this game coming up?
Listen, I'm excuse me. I'm no longer nervous about any game that the Knicks play. Right? It's more just about what's the strategy against this team? What do we got to do to win this game? It's about that, because the Knicks have shown it doesn't matter who they play. They're going to be there, and they're going to compete. They're going to fight. They're going to battle. They may not always come away victorious, but I don't think you have to worry about this team, just blowing the stack. Just getting smacked.
Yep, they're coming to fight.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have to worry about that. And it hasn't been like that all season long for the most part. But as Knicks fans, sometimes you're still not sure. You're not sure. Now it's pretty much, what these guys are. And the team is just good. And it's okay for us to feel it and believe it. You know what I mean? And we don't have to doubt them, and we don't have to say, but they can't beat this team or that team. Let's not focus on whether or not they beat them in the past. Let's focus on them accomplishing more goals. And this is another goal. We got smacked by Denver the first time we played them. I'm sure the Knicks remember that, and they want it back. And also, the Knicks understand where they are and what they're trying to accomplish. So that game doesn't matter, right? That game doesn't matter. It's all about what's happening right now, because both teams have changed.
We're both different teams right now.
Exactly.
We're both different.
Exactly. We're both different teams right now in the way that we're playing basketball. You know what I mean? So, I
love
think
our chances.
With this team, we've got to continue to. They got a big guy in Nikola Jokic, right? And every game we're like, oh, they got this big guy. How are we gonna deal with this big guy? And we're gonna have trouble with their big man. And every game we don't really have trouble with their big man. There's been very few games where their big man has dominated the Knicks. Very few games. And Nikola Jokic, listen, he's right now the MVP leader. He's the MVP leader. Almost averages a triple-double from that center spot. Okay? He's a great basketball player. One of the best, just overall basketball players that we have in the league today. It's no doubt about that whatsoever. But we also, the Knicks, are a team that's more sure of themselves as a team. They know what they can do on defense. They're beginning to understand how to turn it up when they need to. There was a point in time where with the Knicks, it felt like they had to put out so much energy to compete with teams that they didn't have enough to finish the game. But now that they're starting to score the basketball better,
wild,
it's different, right? Because they can have a little bit of a lead, and I think this is something that comes into play now that they can score the basketball a little better. When you can score the ball, you can rest a little bit certain times during the game. You can relax, preserve some energy so that you can turn it up. I think the Knicks are having trouble with understanding how long to preserve that energy. You know what I'm saying? And not letting teams back in the game. Like, okay, we're going to chill for a hot second. Oh, snap, it's a 5-point game. Now we got to play. You know what I'm saying? So, like, And it takes a team time to understand the ins
Mature
and
to
outs of
that.
those type
True.
of things. You know what I'm saying? Right. But so it's definitely a different team with a different mindset, a different level of confidence. So they're coming into this game thinking different. The last time we played them earlier in the season, both teams were 5-5. And, the Knicks didn't know their hand from their feet. You know what I'm saying? They didn't know who they were as a team. The confidence level wasn't there. I think that they were, they had jumped out to a 5-3 record. They had lost a couple. Then they were playing Denver, and it was kind of like, okay, what can we do? Can we get back? To winning some basketball games. And I believe their loss to Denver was in the midst of a 5-game losing streak, maybe. All right, so it's just different. Nikola Jokic, he scored 22 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists against us last time. Jamal Murray didn't really play that well. He had 9 points, 3 assists. They had balance scoring from around the board, across the board. Will Barton had 5 points. Paul Millsap 10 points. Gary Harris had 14 points. JaMychal Green had 10. Monte Morris had 12. PJ Dozier had 12. All right, we're going to be facing a very different team, obviously, because Jamal Murray's not there. They now have Aaron Gordon. Okay, they got, what's his name? Facundo Campazzo. He started at point guard tonight versus the Los Angeles Lakers. They lost to the Lakers tonight. All right, PJ Dozier started tonight at shooting guard. Aaron Gordon at power forward. Michael Porter Jr. at small forward. All right, so we're facing a different team that's playing a different style of basketball. In their lineup now is JaVale McGee, Shaquille Harrison, JaMychal Green still, Austin Rivers. Austin Rivers played 33 minutes tonight, 3.6 assists. All right, so this is Paul Millsap didn't play any minutes tonight. Right, so this is a team that's very, very different, and we're going to have to, so we can't take anything from what we did last time. We can't take nothing from what we did in the previous game and apply it to this game.
I think that's
Oh, go ahead, Tone.
I think that's okay because for one, neither can they, and for two, well, that's the main thing. Neither can they. We're a different team as well, and I think Tibbs thrives off of game plan, as we said earlier, and now he has a larger. He has more film to go through on them. You know what I mean? So I think we have just as much as an advantage as anybody who says they do.
Right. I agree. Listen, they lost to the Lakers tonight 93-89. All right. The Lakers started Alex Caruso at point guard. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope at shooting guard. Andre Drummond at center. Anthony Davis at power forward. And Kyle Kuzma at small forward. Okay. So it's definitely going to be a different team. As a matter of fact, when you look at their starting lineup tonight, they have one person in that starting lineup from when we played them. One player. That's Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic. Right? One player. So I don't know what to expect from this game. Honestly. I don't know what to expect. We'll see what it looks like. As a matter of fact, okay, Facundo did play against us the first game. Facundo played against us. PJ Dozier played against us. They have like 3 players playing that played against us in the first game. So it's going to be something totally different. I do think it's a game that we can go get. I feel confident. I'm not saying we're definitely going to win, but I feel like it's a game we can go get.
What's the defensive ranking?
The defensive ranking, let me see if I can pull that up. it's very hard to say because the stat that I'm going to pull up is going to be a stat that is
the whole season, right?
The whole season. Now, I can look at, like, say, the last 10 games. I don't know. How long has Jamal Murray been out? I'll take a look at the last 10 games.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, so when we look at the last 10 games, the Denver Nuggets, they're 9-1, so perfectly. We'll look at the last 10 games. All right, they are 6th in the league in scoring at 118.7 points. During the same time period, the Knicks are 7th in the league in scoring at 118 points per game as well. Okay. The Washington Wizards are number 1 during this time period. They're 8-2. They're number 1 at 126.5 points per game. During this time period, the Nuggets are shooting 48.9% from the field. The Knicks are shooting 50% from the field during the same time period. From 3, the New York Knicks are the number 1 3-point shooting team in the league over these previous 10 games.
Saw that coming.
All right, 47.3% from the 3-point line. They're shooting 31.9 attempts per game during this 9-1 during the last 10 games. Okay, that's the New York Knicks. And the Denver Nuggets during the same time period are shooting 35.6% from the 3-point line at 36 attempts per game. As far as rebounding the basketball, both teams, the Denver Nuggets are averaging about 45 during the last 10. The Knicks about 43.3. Assists, the Denver Nuggets are averaging 27. The Knicks continue to be, low in assists during this 10-game stretch at 23.1. Let's check out the defensive rating during the last 10 games and see where they rank right now. The New York Knicks rank 7th in defensive rating at 109.8 during the last 10, and the Denver Nuggets rank 8th in defensive rating at 110. So these are two teams over the last 10 games have been pretty even.
I mean, one could say that we're playing each other at our peak. Yeah. I mean, granted, I know they're a better team with Murray, but, looking at those numbers, I don't know if they were better statistically before. And if they were, that's amazing.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
Michael Porter Jr. has turned everything around for them.
Not on a 9-1 streak. There's no way the numbers were better statistically. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What you just say, Mark?
Yeah, Michael Porter Jr. has really turned things around for them. I mean, when Murray went down, it was a shock. But I think probably a lot of us saw this coming out of Michael Porter. I mean, once his spinal issues that he had and his lower back, he had his issues coming in from the draft. But once they got past that tough time, they invested in this kid, and he's really just a hardworking, beautiful young player. He's amazing. But we've got some amazing players of our own. I'm looking forward to this matchup. But yeah, they're a totally different team, and the dynamic that Porter lends to this thing with Jokic, because his ability to pass the ball and see his teammates is amazing. And here's one that's always cutting and running. He's got a lot of energy, right? So he's finding them, and we have to control that dynamic, the energy between those two. We have to break it, cut it off. We know they're gonna score their shots on us, and they're gonna be dynamic players. But we have to use some of our veterans to help our younger guys and our coaching staff get these guys ready for their little tricks and plays. And that's what I love about this team. Again, they really do get our guys ready,
Yeah, no doubt. Chetnik, thank you for the super chat. He said, Sim, I've been rocking the MLK game shirt on this 3-game win streak. And if you guys don't know what that is, you see Mark has the MBK shirt on. For each one of our games, we normally do a special NBK shirt. In a couple years back, we went to a MLK game and we had a special MLK game shirt. Keep rocking it, Chet. Chetnik, keep rocking it. You know what I'm saying? Keep that winning streak alive. Bless Roberts, thank you for the super chat. He said the best show repping the Knicks to date. To date. Nobody wants to play us in the playoffs. You see it. Hashtag N1K forever. And then big shout out to this guy, Joe. He said the best Knicks show around for real. Everyone show some respect on the super chat, love. I appreciate that. That's my son too, anyway. This guy, Joe. That's my son. Yeah. No doubt about it. Big shout out to you. Big shout out to you, man. Yeah, this team is going to be, it's going to be a fun game. I'm interested to see how it's going to take place. I did want to read off who the Denver Nuggets played over the last month or so, right? As they've been winning basketball games. When you look, I'm gonna go back to about. Let's see. I'm gonna try to go back to the last 10 games. All right. Let me see. Let me try to get that in. Where are we in right now? We're in May. Let me see. So before tonight's game, who did they play before tonight's game? So they played the Lakers tonight. They lost to the Lakers. They beat the Clippers on Saturday. Okay. And then before that, they beat the Raptors. They beat the Pelicans. They beat the Grizzlies, 120-96. They beat the Rockets. The Golden State. They lost to the Golden State Warriors. They beat the Trailblazers. They beat the Memphis Grizzlies. They beat the Rockets. They beat the Miami Heat. They lost to the Golden State Warriors twice in the last couple of weeks. So, looking at them, just like everyone says about the Knicks, it's not like they beat the Clippers, but it's not like they've been beating up on super teams. All right, so, we'll see. It's going to be a good game, good matchup. I'm looking forward to it. And I think the Knicks come out victorious. I do. I think they can. I think this is a game that they can get. I believe the Knicks feel that way, and I'm sure the Nuggets feel that way as well. So they're going to come with their A game.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah. Listen, let me get to, I want to get to Tom Thibodeau and listen to what he had to say in the post game. Then we'll get a couple of thoughts about the post game, and then we'll rock on from there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Tom Thibodeau.
Hi, everyone. Coach is here. If you have a question, raise your hand, and I'll bring you into the room. Mark Berman.
To be like Mark Boyce, I'd like, do you find me attractive?
Tom, to do a second night of a back-to-back on the road against a good team, I mean, how impressed are you by this one?
Well, you got to bring the energy and the commitment to win. And so I thought our guys were excellent in terms of preparation. We got in late or early this morning, and just being ready to go at the start of the game. We started off slowly the first couple of minutes, but then I thought our starters did a good job. I thought Elford's ball pressure really got us going. And then, we built a good lead in the third. We struggled a little bit in the fourth, but we found a way to win. So, whatever we have to do to get the wins, it's hard to win on the road. Defense, rebounding, that team puts a lot of pressure on you. Position, attacking the paint, so you have to get back, you got to get set, and you got to keep the ball out of the paint. And then they have great length and versatility defensively, and they can turn you over. And I thought our guys did a good job with that as well.
Steve Popper.
Hey, Tom, early in the fourth quarter, or midway through the fourth quarter, I guess, you pulled Derrick, brought in Alec, and Alec gets hurt right away. And Derrick looked like he was struggling a little, and then comes back in a minute later and seemed to turn things on to another level. What did you see from him there?
Well, we just knew where we were in terms of, trying to get guys in and out. So, I thought, we didn't have a lot left in the tank, so we were just trying to manage it as best we could. And but I like the mental toughness of our team. And so, Anderson hit the 2 threes, and that sort of, brought the lead down. And then we knew it'd be a fight after that. So that's what I liked. I liked the toughness of the team, the perseverance, and just finding a way to get it done. I knew Alec is his first game back, and I thought he did some really good things. But his timing's still not there. It'll get there. I thought Norvel gave us really good minutes. RJ had a good stretch for us to help carry us. We needed everyone, and when we got that, just Taj is, that matchup with Valanciunas is a very difficult one because you're in a lot of different roles. So you have to be up, then you have to get back, and you got to try to keep them off the board. And it just required an unbelievable amount of effort, and that's the great value on Taj is you're going to get more than one effort on every play. There's going to be 2, 3, and 4 efforts from him, and that's what it takes to win. There's no stat for that, but that's why he's so valuable to the team. And then I thought Norvel just being ready to go, when his number was called. So we needed his minutes, and he was very good as well.
Jonathan Macri.
Coach, obviously you had Derrick Rose for his MVP season. Athletically, he's maybe not the same player that he was. But could you just talk a little bit about how he's matured over the last decade? And when he says something after the game like, my teammates allow me to play this way, what does that mean for you to hear?
Well, and that's the great value in him. Whether he was the MVP of the league at 22 or 10 years later, he's the same guy. He's always been a team first guy. And winning's always at the forefront. He's always been a great teammate. He's happy when other people have success. He's most happy when the team wins. And whether he scores 2 points or he scores 20 points, he's the same guy. And he's doing it a lot of different ways. I think, and I've mentioned this many times, if you look at his net rating, pro 48, when he's on the floor, what he's done with us is pretty remarkable. So, he adds a lot of value to winning, as does Taj. Our vets have been phenomenal for us. When you look at, what Alec and Reggie have done along with Elford, it's just you need that type of performance to be a winning team. Our depth has been a big asset for us. And then, of course, what Julius has done speaks for itself. But RJ's having a terrific season, and Quick and Obi are really, Obi's really coming on. He's playing really well for us. And Quick has been terrific all year long as well.
Ian Bagley.
Yeah, Tom, we've highlighted, Julius's shooting, especially from the perimeter, how he's having a career year. But also you look at the assists and you just watch the games, the way he's distributing the ball, finding his teammates. Was that a point of emphasis from you to him before the season when you guys got together for those workouts?
Well, I think it's a responsibility of every primary scorer is to understand, okay, you have the responsibility. There's, you're going to run your offense, through your primary scorers. And when the second defender comes, you have to make the right reads. You have to make the right plays. And he has been willing to do that from the start of the season. So, and I want all our players to do that. I want them to put the team first and put winning first. And that's the only way you can win. When you look at the teams that go deep into the playoffs, they're teams that are willing to share the ball and they read the defense correctly. The game tells you who's getting what shot. So if you're getting blitzed in the pick and roll, know what your outlets are, and know what your reads are in order. If you get double teamed in the post, same thing holds true. Know when you're a primary option. When does that happen? When do you look for your shot first? And so that's all part of winning. And then it's important to take the right shots. As I said, the one thing that I think I'm most proud of as a team, these guys are playing for each other, and seeing the quality of our 3-point shots. They're not bad shots. They're all good shots. They're usually shots that are coming from a teammate making a play for somebody or making the extra pass. And those are great rhythm shots. It allows us to get a chance at a second shot. It also allows us to get our defense set. Everyone knows when it's coming.
Last question, Mike Borkanoff.
Tom, your offense has really kind of taken several steps up since Derrick Rose came to the team. Do you think that's a coincidence, or do you think it's fair to say that he's kind of been a catalyst for this offensive growth for you guys?
Well, I think, he's been a big part of it, but I also think you have to give credit to the other guys as well. I think RJ off the dribble, Quick off the dribble, Alec off the dribble, and then the willingness to make the extra pass by everyone, to pass up a good shot, to get a great shot, and just understanding, what your reads are, how to play winning basketball. I think the team deserves credit, and usually it stems from your best players doing that. If your primary scorers are sharing the ball and making the right plays, it makes everyone want to do that. And so that's the way we want to play. I think understanding from the beginning our defense, our rebounding, keeping our turnovers down, and then playing inside out, having the ball hit the paint. And when the ball hits the paint, make the right rim read, and then share the ball. And the game is pretty simple when you play it that way.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is. The game is pretty simple when you play it that way. And the Knicks have been doing it all season long. Tony, Mark, any thoughts on anything that you heard from Tom Thibodeau?
I mean, what he's a coach, man. He's a good coach. You can tell by his rhetoric. It's team ball. It's always about the team. It's always about effort. It's always about practice. I think we're in good hands.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
I love it. It's very rare that he says anything that I disagree with, and even if he does, I still respect it. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta respect who he is and his record.
Yeah, no doubt. Mark, anything that you heard that you want to comment on with Tom Thibodeau?
There's a steadiness and a calmness in his voice, and he just never seems to be looking past the next game. That's just this coincidence with this guy. Every interview I've ever seen with him, he's just about, he's humble about the victory. He doesn't give anybody any hatred to work on. He leaves them nothing. You know what I mean? He compliments where he's supposed to, and then he moves on to the next team. And that's what I think he's doing here. I think that the team is probably a lot more excited, or maybe show a little bit more in the locker rooms than he is. But he is so calm. I mean, I'd hate to come up against him at the poker table, man, at the World Poker Tour. I would get my ass handed to me. You know what I mean? He just sits there stoic, and I just start sweating. I'd start it, But I think that he's calm. If you ask me for, what I think about him, he's just a calm general. He's a calm coach.
Yeah,
and he's got these guys with his personality. It's because it's rubbing off on them now.
Well, on the court, on the sideline, he's not calm. He's not calm on the sideline. I say that.
That's true. But you know what? When the grenades and bombs are going off, and you're the one standing out there shouting instructions to your team, that's not the time to be shy. And he certainly is.
Yeah. He certainly isn't. He'll light into you quick. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you all for being here. Appreciate your time. I don't want you to hold me to it right now, because the last few times I said, I got a shoot around tomorrow, and then a bunch of meetings jumped on my schedule. If meetings do not jump on my schedule, I'll be on tomorrow. All right? So, hopefully those meetings don't jump on my schedule. I do want to say this before I go, man. Russell Westbrook, and I know this is not Knicks related, but this man had 14 points, 24 assists, and 21 rebounds tonight. He only took 8 shots. He's 5 for 8 from the field, 4 for 4 from the free throw line. 24 assists, 21 rebounds, 14 points tonight. The Washington Wizards are 30-35 on the season. They still have a chance to have a winning record, or to even have a 500 record. I don't know who they play coming up. But all I'm gonna say is that whoever's in that first seed better watch out for the Wizards, man. These guys can score the basketball. Let me see who they got coming up. They play Milwaukee. Then they play Toronto, Indiana, Atlanta, Cleveland, and Chicago. They could run a table on these teams. Maybe not the Milwaukee game. It's going to be something if this team ends up 36-36 with a 500 record and, move up and maybe even be the 9th seed. You know what I'm saying? If they're able to move into having a 500 record, they might even move up and jump into that 8th seed. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to say, watch out for that team right there. The ability, they don't play well, good defense, but the ability that they have to score, and then you got two guys like Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal out there. Yeah. Anyway, that's the Wizards. The Knicks, 37-28. They had their first winning season since 2012, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, since 2012. Celebrate that, folks. Yeah, Kevin, you're right. He said they won, but they gave up 141 points. You're right. They scored 154, but they gave up 141. How do you lose? How do you lose by 13? The Pacers lost by 13 points and scored 141. It's wild business right there.
We're just running back and forth like a bunch of saloon doors. Just
it's wild. That's crazy. Crazy. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here. Hopefully I'll be free tomorrow. I'll be able to do a shoot around. A lot I want to talk about, just NBA stuff. I want to talk about some stuff happening in the NBA, of course, the New York Knicks. So hopefully you can join me there. I appreciate you all. Be peaceful, rest easy. As usual, man, spread love, ladies and gentlemen. Keep the love spreading. Keep it easy. Keep peaceful. Take the stress out your life. Just live in love. Get out of here.